Secret Sex Lives of Medieval Nuns. Now, when you think of nuns, you probably imagine women leading quiet, pious lives, dedicated to prayer and service. But forget everything you thought you knew about medieval nuns. Because today in this video, we're going to go through with the hidden, darker side to these convents that includes the scandalous secrets, forbidden relationships, shocking rituals, and the things that the church tried to bury. Stay with us because this video will literally blow your mind. Let's start by setting the scene. In medieval society, nuns were considered the female counterparts of monks. They devoted their lives to prayer, service, and contemplation in secluded convents. But life in these religious communities was far from easy. The rules were strict. Nuns were expected to fast regularly, sleep on hard beds, wear uncomfortable clothing, and often, they weren't allowed to speak unless absolutely necessary. Now, imagine their life, trying to communicate their needs using nothing but hand gestures and grunts. Awkward, right? But these strict rules didn't stop all nuns from exploring their desires. Living in isolation with few outlets for expression, some nuns found creative and controversial ways to spice up their otherwise mundane lives, and this is where the real story begins. One of the more intriguing practices was veiling, where nuns would blindfold themselves during religious ceremonies. On the surface, this might sound like a way to enhance focus and devotion, but let's dig a little deeper. With their eyes covered, nuns were free to touch and explore each other without the fear of being caught. Human nature being what it is, things sometimes got a bit too heated beneath those veils. There's even a popular, though shocking, story of a group of nuns who took their veiling rituals to the next level. It's said they incorporated a live rooster into their ceremonies, letting the bird explore beneath their veils as a form of religious ecstasy. Now, whether this is entirely true or exaggerated over time, one thing is clear. These practices did not go over well with the church authorities. If you thought veiling was shocking, wait until you hear about the so-called barnyard monasteries. Imagine a group of nuns living together in close quarters, engaging in secret relationships. Some historians believe that these relationships were seen as a way to express their devotion to God through physical intimacy. But let's be honest, they were human too, with human desires, living in a society that restricted nearly every form of personal expression. These intimate relationships among nuns weren't just about spiritual connection. They were also about emotional support. However, the church saw this as a serious violation of their vows of celibacy. When word got out, the response was swift and brutal. Some nuns were expelled from their orders, publicly shamed, or even subjected to physical punishment like whipping. Now, let's dive into one of the most infamous cases, the story of Sister Benedetta Carlini. Imagine a 17th century Italian nun who claimed to receive divine visions and was deeply respected in her community. But behind the scenes, Sister Benedetta was hiding a shocking secret. She was involved in a forbidden relationship with another nun, Sister Bartolomea. When church authorities found out, they launched an investigation. It was discovered that not only had Sister Benedetta engaged in sexual acts, but she had also faked her divine visions to gain influence. In a desperate attempt to avoid punishment, she claimed that her actions were the result of demonic possession. Unfortunately for her, this defense didn't hold up in court, and she was sentenced to life imprisonment. Sister Benedetta's story is not just a tale of forbidden love. It's a reminder of how power dynamics and manipulation could exist even within the walls of a convent. Her case also reflects the church's harsh stance on homosexuality during that time, showing how deeply it was condemned. As if that wasn't enough, let's turn to the darker side of convent life, the so-called witch nuns. During the medieval period, accusations of witchcraft were rampant, and nuns were not exempt. Living in isolated communities made them easy targets for these accusations. In one of the most notorious cases, the nuns of Loudun in France claimed to be possessed by demons and accused a local priest of being their tormentor. While modern historians suggest that the nuns may have been victims of mass hysteria, the church took these accusations seriously. Those accused of witchcraft were often tortured to extract confessions, and some were even burned at the stake. It's a chilling reminder of how fear and superstition ruled the medieval world. Who would have thought that behind the walls of medieval convents lay stories of rebellion, forbidden love, and even accusations of witchcraft? The lives of these women were far more complex than we often imagine. While many nuns devoted their lives to God with pure intentions, others pushed the boundaries, driven by desires, fears, and the harsh realities of their isolated lives. The next time you think of a nun, remember that they were not just symbols of purity and devotion. They were human, with struggles, secrets, and stories that have been hidden for centuries. And as we've seen, their lives were filled with contradictions, balancing their faith with their human desires. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the hidden history of medieval nuns. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you have other shocking stories we didn't mention? Let us know. And don't forget to check out our channel for more weirdly amazing history videos. See you next time.